learn Bring Back My Bonnie to Me on the bagpipe chanter and have fun doing it. This video, we're going to go through the first part. My name's Alec from Get Bagpipe Ready. And that first part is going to sound something like this. Sorry, pardon me, here we go. And we also have the option of putting in some burls in there if that's something you're working on. So this tune has a few more complicated pieces or embellishments to it compared to some of my earlier videos. So if you're getting a bit overwhelmed, maybe just scoot back and look for some earlier videos on my channel. But if you're working on some of these embellishments already, this can be a really fun tune to play, and it's a nice one because people recognize it too. So let's just start at the beginning and we'll break it down part by part as usual. So that's kind of the first movement, so let's break that down. So we're starting on the low G, high G grace note, and then we're going to go right up to F, walk down to D from F. Okay, so we go grace note on low G, grace note to F, walk down to D, and I gotta play it over again so I remember what else is next. So here's what we got so far. Okay, so from that D we're going to do a grace note to the E. So let's play that again. So I'll just play that a couple more times slow here. And that's where you can throw in that burl if you want. But I feel like I maybe rushed through the second part of that part. So let's just break that down a little bit. So we have the walk down to D, grace note up to E, back to D, down to B, grace note to D, and then down to low A. Grace note to F, walk down to D, up to E, back to D, down to B, back to D with that grace note, and then just everything down to low A. And you can just hold the low A, or you can do the burl. If burls are new to you, that bottom pinky finger is going to slide down across the hole, and then slide up again. And I can't really do it slow without my my ring finger coming off the hole as well. But when you do it quickly, that ring finger, it might rotate a little bit, but we don't want that ring finger to come off the hole as well. And that's the challenge when you're learning burls. And it's something you can pause the video and just work on that phase we did, regardless if you're going to throw the burl in or not. I don't know if it's true, but when I learned burls as a kid, my teacher said you had to get all your wax from your forehead or behind your ears, so your pinky finger was slipperier and you could do your burls better. It helps me. I don't know if it's just a expectation bias effect or what, but whatever works to get your burls sounding good. So that's kind of the first sequence of the first part of this tune. So that's the next part. So I'll just play the first part again that we already learned, and then we'll kind of break down that second part here. Grace note on the F. Back, normal walk down to the D like we've been doing before. Grace note to E. Sorry, that's a new part. Grace note on the F, walk down to D, drop down to B, back to D, grace note on the E. Grace note on the F, walk down to D. That's the first bit. Now the second bit. So they're very similar. One we're dropping down to the low A, one we're dropping up, we're jumping up to the high E. So otherwise they're very much the same. We're on that D, we're going to the B either way. It's just a matter, are we dropping down to the low A, as in the first bit, or are we jumping up from the B to the D to the E. So let me play what we have so far. And then we're just going to repeat that. Repeat the first way we did it, where we drop down to the low A. And then we can put that burl in, a grace note, up to the D. Sorry, not to the D, we're going to do the grace note up to the E. And then from the E, we're going to go to C. C doubling. D, or down to the B, up to the C. And a D throw to finish it off. Down to the low A. Burl. Up to the high E. Back to the low A. Grace note. E. C doubling. So C doubling, a doubling. We're doing a grace note, a G grace note, and then a grace note with our D, kind of in sequence like that. So that's a doubling on the C. So we have our C doubling, we go down to the B, back to the C, and then a D throw to finish it off. And a D throw, it's a real funky movement. It's one of my favorite. So a D throw, from the C, you're going to bring all the fingers down, a grace note on your D, C comes up, and then D comes up. So that's a D throw. And that can definitely be worth practicing as well. So this tune, I feel like I kind of, confused my words a little bit trying to teach it to you guys today. But it's because it's so similar. So if you just get that one part, that's the whole first part of the tune. It just kind of repeats those few times. It drops down to the low A, it jumps up to the high E, it drops down to the low A, and then we have that little D throw, and that finishes off the whole first part of the tune. So I'll just quit jabbering here and just play it through a few times, the first part of this tune. Won't you bring my body back to me? And I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we tackle the second part of this tune. So here's the first part that we've gone over. So I know there's a lot there. Don't beat yourself up if you're missing an odd grace note or throwing in an extra one here or there. Really, that only matters if you're playing together with a band and everybody has to play the exact same version of a tune. Right now, if you're just trying to get worked on cleaning up your doublings and your grace notes, it doesn't matter so much. Have some individuality with this tune and have some fun with it. Let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful and if you're enjoying this tune. Thanks so much. See you next time.